Okay, we're doing the behind the scenes thing, pre-show kind of stuff. So I'm still adjusting, tweaking, playing with, trying to get stuff squared away, and just getting show prep in. So what do I really usually do during show prep? Well, I'm pretty much just doing show prep. Getting things together, fiddling about, doing some various stuff. Let's see. It's about right. I usually tweak, tune, and could adjust everything so it's not completely jittered, so I can do the podcast. So you see me now doing behind the scenes stuff, and usually it's not a huge, long, drawn out affair, but there is stuff to do. So I now do these things, and hopefully it's not going to be too terrible boring on the lead-in, and then I'll just simply fire things up on Facebook and, do that as I usually do. So the kind of stuff you normally don't see during the podcast, that's kind of that, real-life stuff. Hey, the kind of real-life stuff you normally don't get to see on television or, on primetime live TV. I'm not primetime. I'm not live TV. So you get what you get with me, and I'm not going to do anything different other than simply just be myself. So, of course, rocking the Player One, obviously, the classic Nintendo setup. You got your pad, you got your A and B buttons, your start stop, so you can do that classic, up down left right A B, up down left right A B, classic cheat code. Let's see, scrolly. It takes for freaking ever to get your stuff back on your timeline where you can make notable examples therein of stuff you have to do. You know what? I need some more nose wipes, so I'll be right back in 1 second. Give me a second, too. I have, not even 5 minutes to the beginning of the podcast. I'll be right back. Yeah, that was not ready for prime time. Keep that one off the main screen, as it were. All right, so scrolly. There's some stuff I found that's kind of cool, and I'll be getting to it into greater depth. And I do actually put some kind of goofball stuff on there, but most of the time I'm putting real content up on my podcast because I want people to see real stuff. I'm not going to jerk around. I'm not going to put on wrong stuff. But, I'm going to do those things that I found to be noteworthy, notable, and good. So, scrolly. I'm now back down to where I was, precursor to, and now we're at our 5-minute point, so I'm getting ready to fire things up and go, and basically push the button on the live cast on Facebook. So I guess I need to actually say something on Facebook. Shall I now say something on Facebook? Sometimes the touch say stuff is not exactly the best on the Android. Sometimes is not the best thing for recognition. Sorry, not a 5-minute time period. I'm gonna fire things up on Facebook, so I'm gonna fire things up on Facebook, good stuff like that there, and you guys are along for the ride. You get the before, you get the after. Posting it up on YouTube, you guys get to see it unedited, unvarnished, goofballed, but you don't have the dropouts and stupid stuff like you do on Facebook. I fire things up on Facebook right now, so let me get down to it and rock and roll. Do my usual lead in. Oh, hey folks, Dude here, coming on my usual Tuesday. Oh, good stuff. And we are now doing the podcast, Dude After Dark, good stuff like that there. If you guys are joining in, I appreciate your kind attention. So if you guys haven't noticed that I'm on air, oh well, I'm not exactly on air, doing an air quote thing. Not exactly on air, but, on the Facebook Live. Of course, I've been posting up 1 week later, or, a few days later, it'd be posting up a few days later, then showing a full, classic vintage version therein of the Facebook podcast Dude After Dark on YouTube. So you get to see what all the dropouts and all the stupid stuff. And like I usually say, this is being live cast on Facebook with my tablet. So this little booger right... stupid camera hiding at it. Right, hang on a second. Where? It's right there. I did it to myself again. Camera is right there, okay? All right, did it to myself again. Camera is right there. Yeah, so I know you guys hate when I do that, but camera's right there. It's being live cast on my Samsung tablet. It's being backlogged on my Samsung S5 Galaxy phone, and of course then be broadcast over on YouTube as a complete unit. No dropouts, no stupid stuff, so good stuff like that there. Bev Hunted, appreciate you coming in by, Hunt. So looking at things as it is on the podcast, let's fire things up, because, we're now looking roughly about, it's close enough. Beetlejuice, led by 5. So fire things up and doing stuff like that there. I cannot begin to tell you how good it feels to say acquitted. No matter how much Pelosi's going, oh, he's still guilty, he'll be impeached forever. It's like, yeah, but also he's going to be impeached forever. So anyway, yeah, she's not a happy camper. Sure, Schumer's not a happy camper. I'm sure most of the rest of the Democrat Party is really, they're pooping in their pampers right about now, trying to figure out how to take down Donald John Trump and make him not the president, because everything they've tried has failed abysmally, mostly because there's two good reasons why it's failed. Number one, Donald Trump is not a traditional politician. Number two, these people are such empty suits that they're trying to do the same kind of crap that they do on each other, and it won't work on a real person. He's a real guy, okay? He's not somebody that's beholden to lobbyists and the elector guys who throw all kinds of cash at him and, all the rest of this. Oh, yeah, we want you to, represent our so-and-so, so we're going to basically prop you up, and you better be beholden to us once you get in office. He's not one of those guys. Excuse me 1 second here. Yeah, so now this thing's going on about, like, Bloomberg is worth $60 billion, and Trump's only worth, like, $3 billion. Yeah, I'll get into that. I'll definitely get into that, Bev. She's talking a room about butt screw a guy. I'm sorry, butt a judge, butt a juge, or butt a ju, or whatever his name is. Klobuchar and Bernie Sanders and Squanders and all the rest of these goofballs. The DNC is looking really sad right now. I'll get into it, as I go through my timeline there, Bev. Don't worry about that. I got stuff to talk about. But I got to tell you, I've been having a lot of fun with the memes. Like basically Pelosi's all disheartened, and Trump's like, yeah, I'm free as a bird. Screw you. You didn't get me. Your lies didn't fly. And that's all good stuff. I mean, if you want to talk about the things should be in a free society. In a free society, you should be able to elect somebody to represent you who is not going to be beholden to the plutocrats. They're not going to be beholden to, the guys behind the scenes with way too much money, the fringe elements who basically try to get representation, and they always do in the Democratic Party. If you go on with this, I'm going to be completely honest here, man. The homosexual agenda that they always tend to prop up is like, this is such a huge problem. We need to represent all these people. The homosexual population in the United States is somewhere between 2 to 3%. Not saying that they're not an important group, because, they are decent people by and large, but guys, you're talking 2 to 3% of the population. The other 97% of the population are just like, okay, great, they're around, but sorry, it doesn't really do anything for me, for or against. KB, appreciate you coming on by, dude. So yeah, I mean, that's the other thing too. Yes, obviously they should have good representation in Congress. Yes, they should have good representation in the Senate. And yes, they should be recognized as free citizens of the United States. Do they get special rights just because they're geared up to basically hang out with somebody of the same sex? I really don't see it, man. I think the biggest thing is going to be pretty much just, leave them alone kind of an attitude, which is pretty much as I've always seen it. I mean, we actually have a gay couple in my family, and it was actually pretty funny. We actually had a conversation once where the very, very, very hard-charging Catholic guy was like, so, and I could not hold back. I was like all ears on this one going, oh, this is going to be, this is going to be hilarious when it takes place. But the guy goes, so, what is this gay thing? And the more flamboyant of the gay guy couple just looks at him and goes, just leave us the F alone. And I was almost falling out of my chair going, pretty much that's just live and let live. Just let the guys be who they are. I mean, that's really all it is. And if they're, doing their thing, it's not like they're really hitting in my pond. They're not fishing in my fish, okay? So have a blast. You guys hang out with the other guys, and, you girls hang out with your other girls, as long as I'm hanging out with the heteros, and you guys hanging out with the homosexuals, and we're not really, like, banging heads because one group is, like, butting heads with the other. Sure, great, cool, whatever, everybody's basically having a good time. Marcus, dude, haven't seen you in a while. Appreciate you coming on by, man. So yeah, I mean, that seems to be like one of the things too. It's also the fringe elements that the Democrats seem to hugely tend to overrepresent. And the other side of it too is also the fake representation that they apply. If you think about it, they've been going on about like, oh yeah, blacks and Asians and Latinos, they're so grossly affected, this, that, and the other thing. Well, if you talk to blacks and you talk to, Latinos and you talk to Asians, most of the time they're like pretty much just like cut our taxes, give us the ability to make our own businesses, give us the ability to not have to fight uphill against all kinds of government restrictions to be our best people. And if you want to get down and dirty, the Democrats truly, they don't have a good history. They really don't have a very good history. I mean, they're the party of Dred Scott. They're the party of the KKK. They're the party of segregation. So the reason why that most blacks that were traditionally Republican went to the Democrats during the the period of FDR back in the 20s, 30s, 40s, what have you, is because he was saying, hey guys, I got some stuff for you if you simply just support the Democrat Party. And without thinking it through, the black culture and all these other guys were like, okay, cool, we'll support you. The problem is that the Democrats then said, okay, we now have these guys in our camp. We're going to give them the good show, saying that we're going to fix all their problems while not actually fixing all the problems, and we're going to blame the other guys for not allowing us to fix the other guys, problems along with yours. So essentially what it is they became the party of blame the Republicans, blame the Republicans, blame the Republicans, even when they were in majority and they could affect change. They didn't fix things for the blacks, the Asians, the Mexicans, the Latinos, the what have yous. They didn't fix these things. They also didn't fix things for the Indian nations. And if you want to know exactly the easiest way to figure out what the government's going to do for you, the easiest way to figure it out is you walk up to the nearest American Indian and you go, hey dude, can you trust the American government? And he'll just look at you and start laughing and go, really? Really? You're asking me that? Every treaty that we've ever had with the American government, they breached, they broke, they tossed us off a piece of land, put us on another piece of land that absolutely sucked, and said, here's your new reservation, have a blast. In the meantime, this place that they put us on sucked. And we had no good opportunity in which to better ourselves, and we pretty much were stuck on this thing, with some, pittance of, here you go, here's feel-good money, go away and have your own thing. And you can ask any of the Indian nations, they suffered horribly under the wrath of the United States government saying, no, we'll fix all your worldly problems. Just give us the opportunity. We'll make sure everything's good. They didn't. Anywho, so scrolly. That's basically a slight history lesson on that one. I really couldn't help myself. I had two family members on another family member's timeline on their Facebook page, and they were talking smack about Trump. So I went in there and I proceeded to give them a slight history lesson and a minor correction of their regaling of the facts. And for some reason, I don't know what it is with me. I think it's this, snarky little thing I have going on, but I love to get them all wound up. And then I just simply go and click the little notch on top and go, beep, turn off notifications. And I let them go run on for like the next, 2 hours. And then I might check back and see if there's anything going on. And I just give a little, little nudge, turn it back off, or make sure it's turned off and then go back out again. And I really, truly I think it's fun to get like the apple cart on top of the hill and just give it a little beep and just watch it go rolling, gathering speed until finally it just applesauce at the bottom. I just think it's the funniest damn thing to do to people. And it's really, truly easy sometimes with Democrats and those people that live in New York City. It's really easy because you see right now the place is pretty much starting to come apart at the seams yet again. Now, if you guys know your history on New York City, it's been up and down, more times than you ever want to shake a stick at. As a matter of fact, before Giuliani went in office, the place was about bankrupt. Giuliani got the place to be cleaned up. People started going back there again. It had a renaissance. And the thing about it is New York City is its own worst enemy. Now, if you look at the states that actually make the most amount of money, GDP, and I mean gross domestic product by the states, the three states in this order are California, Texas, which is really surprising to me, but California, Texas, and New York. Of those numbers, New York is the low number. It is $1.4 to $1.6 trillion per year generated. Now, most of the cash generation in New York State is fiduciary. It is financial enterprise. It is simply by cash trading, stock market, all the rest of that folderol. That is where they make their money. They don't make their money with any kind of manufacturing. Pretty much all the Rust Belt and everything's been shut down in upstate New York. And New York upstate it's a nice place to visit, man. This place is absolutely gorgeous. If you want to see some of the nicest places, like, to see, like, really dense just greenery and, really nice northern forest, New York State is freaking epic. Would I ever live there? No! You couldn't pay me to live there. Mostly because it is way too expensive, because they are very much, well, they're like France. If you want to look at New York is very much like France. Everybody goes to France and they're like, oh yeah, Paris, it's so amazing, this, right, and everything. They don't realize France is actually not that small a place, and Paris is not the only place in France. Well, if you speak to most people about New York, they go, oh yeah, New York City, this is great, and that's another thing. New York City might be, 10 to 12 million people. It's not the entire state population. There's a whole rest of New York State that is not the, 4% of the city area? New York City is not that big. If you went it down and dirty, Manhattan Island is only 3 miles wide and 13 miles long, and it's got 8 million people on it. It's one of the most densely populated areas on the freaking planet. Also, it's one of the most expensive areas on the freaking planet. Does that make it better than anywhere else on the planet? No, but the problem is all the representation and all the major tax gains and all the GDP, for the state is made in New York City. It is not made upstate. It's not made in the adjoining areas. And it's also not the case of where those people who are well represented outside of New York City. They're not. They're screwed. So people who live in the city tend to be very cosmopolitan. Very, 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 very blue. And I don't mean beyond blue. Like, I was so surprised to see that one newspaper, New York Post, I think it was, where they're going on about, like, Pelosi tearing up the Donald's speech, calling her a tour loser. I was shocked to see that, but I thought it was actually good timing. So, even a stop clock is right twice a day. So anyway, the way, shape, and form is essentially the main gains financially of New York State is always going to be in the city. So the representation therein is pretty much going to be where the money is in New York City. Now, I'm from New York City. I'm from the Bronx, okay? So I'm not going to basically split hairs with anybody. I mean, I know the place. I'm from the place. Would I ever live in the place? No. You couldn't send me back there if I was making $7, $8, $12, $15, per absolute microsecond, and I was making mega gazillion dollars per year. I would not absolutely ever live in New York City. Ever again. Mostly because it's too restrictive. It's too expensive. I mean, when you chase out somebody that makes mega bucks like, Rush Limbaugh, that's saying something, okay? I don't know why Sean Hannity still lives, he's traditionally from Long Island, but I don't know why he pays in excess of 50% of his earnings in New York taxes. Why? I have absolutely no clue why he considers it worthy to just abuse himself. Personal interactions I've had, as a matter of fact, I was talking with this one lady. I actually drove some cars. I was working for a BMW dealership at the time. Drove some cars on a tow truck, took them to upstate New York. So I was talking with the receptionist lady, and I was like, yeah, so you still live in New York? And they said this. She goes, no, I live about an hour away. It's like, oh, so where in the state is that? She goes, I don't live in New York State. It's like, really? She goes, no, I live in PA. Like, really? She goes, yeah, I got like 3 times the house for like, 1/3 the price. And I have no roaches. I have no screaming sirens. I have no other blah, blah, blah. My life is better. It is painless. I drive an hour commute. I'm here. I drive an hour commute. I'm home. I'm out of New York. It's so much easier. And PA is so much better than New York. And there's a lot of people that are fleeing from these very, very blue areas. From what I understand, there's a huge, huge, huge influx, and I hope they don't bring their politics, but a huge influx of people from California heading to Texas, heading to New Mexico, heading to Arizona, heading to, any place but California, because California's gotten to be too much like, well, California. People are rolling out of New York. People are rolling out of other areas that have gotten very, very too blue for their britches. And there's a lot of places that are just entirely too expensive to live in. Case in point, I mean, I can tell you, like, one of the quote-unquote suburbs of New York is actually going to be Connecticut, because it's so close in proximity. You can go out to Long Island, you can grab a ferry boat, you can go across from, like, I forget how far out it is, but it's not really that far out of the city. You drive roughly about an hour outside of New York City, you get one of the ferry boats, and you're back in Connecticut, in a good chunk of Connecticut, and you're back home pretty easy in about an hour and change. And a lot of people tend to do that. Simply because, even though Connecticut is exceedingly expensive, it is still cheaper than New York as it is. New York is just ridiculously overexpensive for what you get. And of that, you will get, like, nothing. I mean, I'll put it in perspective here. My house is about just shy of 2,400 square feet. I have a fairly good-sized basement, but it's not finished. But I have about a 2,400 square foot house, about 1/10 of an acre. I'm down by waterfront, which is really not that hard to find in Maryland, but I'm about walking distance to get to water. I literally can walk down, and there's a boat ramp in my community. That said, for me to replicate this house, which was sub $300,000, but for me to replicate this house in New York City would probably be a couple million. And if I could find something like this, it wouldn't be nearly as nice. It wouldn't have nearly the amount of land, and if it was on water, it would be probably double-digit millions of dollars. Like I can tell you for a fact, I looked at Bill O'Reilly's house, and he lives literally just east of, he lives just east of, Kennedy Airport, and lives just enough to say that he's in Long Island, but he lives on the north edge of Long Island, just across the water in Long Island. Now, his house was $25 million. My house is just as nice as his house, and that's saying something. But yeah, he spent $25 million to get basically, a house equivalent to mine in New York. Ouch. Now, he makes some money. He can afford that, so yeah, sure. But I wouldn't spend nearly that much money for, equivalent house to this in New York City. Or, anywhere. $25 million for, a house equivalent to mine would be absolute insanity. So anyway, scrolly. This one truly took, and I had to grab this one just epic. I found this one epic GIF. I had to put it on there. Basically you have like those, maybe about like 25, 38 frames, whatever it is, animation, but I could not help but take this one GIF, and it's a GIF from Videodrome where the guy's going, and he's about ready to pop his head, but he's just sitting there just like, he's just losing it. Everything's just, he's all like shivering, degenerating, going to pop his skull. But I could not help but use that GIF. And I put it on there for another one, but it really truly is like emblematic of what they're doing right now, and, basically trying to wrap their head around this one. The approval of, Trump's State of the Union speech was, of course, really exceedingly high. Republicans with 97%, Democrats with 30%, which is still saying something. That's 30% of the Democrats that admitted his speech was good. The problem is when you start having the independents getting polled, and they're saying 82%. Wow. Excuse me one second here. Sorry about that. Got a sinus thing going on tonight. Anyway, so what the way, shape, and form is how you could read that one is independents usually, and you can even ask Mrs. Dude, because Mrs. Dude actually was a Democrat, and she became an independent because she was so sickened by what the Democrat Party actually stands for as a Catholic. So the problem is also in Maryland is you have to be one of the big parties. You got to be either a Democrat or Republican to even get in the primaries. The Green Party, yeah, they're kind of in there. The Independents kind of are in there, but they really don't have a voice. They really truly don't have a voice enough to have a. They're not even really even in the primary. What it is you simply go in the general election, you click their box versus the other party's boxes, and that's how it works in Maryland. But she became an independent because she could just not deal with the crap that they're doing. Logan Ray, appreciate the heads up, man. So anyway, Stick, didn't see you come in, brother. So anyway, look at the things. The independents usually are disaffected Democrats who are going, I don't like which way the party's going. I'm not going to prop this up any longer. I am done with it. I'm out of here. Basically, keep doing what you're doing, but I don't want to be part of this crap anymore. I am finito. Finish. Zip, ding, down, bam, gone. No Nick Nine, nada, no more. I'm out of there. So, but the independents propped that thing up also exceedingly highly at 82%. So if you look at the numbers as it is and as it follows, that was a huge, resounding, golf clap. Huge, resounding golf clap for a very epic, not overly long, State of the Union speech. I mean, some of those, the average time for a State of the Union speech tends to be about 90 minutes. Some have run on longer. I think one of the longest ones, was Clinton or something. I forget who it was, but I remember one of those ones. I don't know if I was a kid at the time, but I remember I was younger. It's like the State of the Union just went on and on, and on some more to the point where you're just going, dude, put a pin in it. Come on. And he just kept going and going and going. So anyway, we find ourselves with a very, very well-received State of the Union speech, and Donald Trump is now riding a crest. The Democrats are looking really not so good right now because of all this impeachment stuff. And also now it's gone to the point where they're like, well, how could you fire these guys out of the Security Council? Maybe because they were a security risk. Maybe because they did stuff that the president has every right to simply say, we're done with you, you're gone, no more. And I'll get into that later. I got more stories going on, by the wayside here. So anyway, scrolly. Let's see. Oh, all the things about, all the hate directed now at Rush Limbaugh for him receiving the Presidential Medal of Freedom. I got bad news for you. I mean, even if you don't like Rush Limbaugh, he has made it known in the libertarian side of things. He's made it known on both parties when they do something that is absolutely sketch, not cool, and unworthy of further just any edification they're in. It's if it's bad juju, he said, yeah, look, guys, you shouldn't be doing this crap. Stop. Just stop, okay? So anyway, for him to get the Medal of Freedom actually was very appropriate. That said, there's been a number of times where people have received it, like one group award that, of all things, Barack Obama did. And he did this during, let's see, November 22nd, 2016. He had a group awarding of 22 people. 22. Not just, okay, want to make this a special occasion, give it to this one person. And that's one of the other things that they said they really don't like about Trump either is he'll have an award ceremony and he'll give it to one person, not a group, not like a big folderol, but it is a major event, but not like a big folderol, but he would give it to one person, not a group of people like, Obama would do. Like, here's a big award ceremony. Let me give it to all of you guys. So let me run down through the list. Half of these people you probably won't even know. But from the full list of 2016 Presidential Medal Award, Presidential Medal of Freedom recipients as provided by the White House for this 2016 event. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Nice guy, but awarded? I don't know. Eloise Cobell, don't know her. Ellen DeGeneres. Lesbian comic that pretty much is like an everyman that everybody kind of likes. And I don't mean everyman like the generic term. I don't mean like I'm referring to her as looking at the manish or anything, but pretty much everybody just doesn't really have an axe to grind with her. Robert De Niro. Well, I don't really like him much, but he's an actor. Richard Gerwin, or Garwin, I don't know. Bill and Melinda Gates. Okay, so mega rich computer guys that feel guilty about being mega rich and being liberal spit out a lot of cash and foundations with their name on it. Medal of Freedom? I don't know. Frank Gehry, or Gary, I don't know him. Gehry, don't know him at all. Margaret H. Hamilton, don't know her. Tom Hanks, another actor. What was he deserving for? Oh, that's right, because he was in a World War II movie chasing around a guy and trying to bring him back home. Don't know. Possibly, okay, here's the only person on the list that I think absolutely was completely deserving of the award in which he awarded him. Awarded posthumously. Grace Hopper. And I do mean, like, I think she was General Grace Hopper. Hang on a second here. Let me punch her up real fast. She is infamously known as the person who said, you know, if there's an issue with a computer, there was a bug in the computer. Let me go over here real quick. No, she was Navy, so she was Rear Admiral. So she was like a 1-star or 2-star admiral. But she passed away in 1992. But she is infamous for being the person who came up with the phrase saying, yes, there is a bug in the computer. And there's a little bit of a story behind it. Supposedly she was working on a computer, had a glitch. She's like, oh, what's going on with this stupid thing? So she's pulled it down, finally opens it up, and there was a moth that got caught in the relay, and the relay couldn't close because its wing was in the way or something. So she reached in with a pair of tweezers, took out the bug, fixed it, and there was an incident report going, what was wrong with the computer? Well, the computer went down. We had to fix an issue with it. There was a bug. So it became known as there's a bug now in the computer, or there's a bug in the device, and she's the one that coined the phrase, and she's the one that's known for it. But she is also one of these people who is absolutely the foundation for modern computing science. Grace Hopper is that lady, and she deserves every accolade. And for her to be awarded the Medal of Freedom, she should have gotten it earlier when she was still around, but she earned it most definitely in posthumous fashion because she was that person. Amazing technology she came about with, and she was the one. Michael Jordan, two basketball players. Okay, whatever. Maya Lin, I think she's like some artsy-fartsy chick, whatever. Lorne Michaels, oh, the guy at Saturday Night Live. Woo! Yeah, woo! He's really, whatever. Newt Minow, I don't know this person from Adam. Eduardo Padron, don't know him from Adam either. Robert Redford, oh, another actor. Yeah. Diana Ross, singer/actor. Whatever. Vin Scully, don't know that person. Bruce Springsteen. I'm so not a fan of Bruce Springsteen. First off, he's from New Jersey, okay? So there's that whole New York, New Jersey thing, and just be gone with you. Second off, he's never really truly impressed me as a musician. I wasn't really that much of a fan of, him. I did, of course, like Clarence Clemens. I thought Clarence Clemens was fun to watch and a good instrument player himself, and notable person. Check him out sometime. Clarence Clemens deserves the attention, not Bruce Springsteen. Guy sings like he's basically got his, voice boxed up with like SOS pads. Whatever. Anyway, so not impressing therein, but they go on and on. There's a whole thing about like Trump awarding Rush Limbaugh, and the total count that Obama gave out was like 121 presidential medals of freedom. When you get to that level, you kind of cheapen it, okay? Oh, I got the presidential medal of freedom. Yeah, where'd you get it from? Obama. Oh, yeah, he gave out a bunch, didn't he? Yeah, well, yeah, he kind of did, yeah. Scrolly. Yeah, this one I thought was kind of a little snarky, the way that they report it, but it's from pluralist.com, and they said, Trump is on the warpath after being acquitted, looking at kicking Vindman to the curb. No, he didn't look at kicking Vindman to the curb. He flat out fired his ass and said, get the beep out of here. Truthfully, Vindman is not a good egg, okay? He's also, if you look at him from all his history on down, he's got a Ranger tab, okay? He's got a combat infantry badge because he actually was in combat for like a month or so and was injured with an IED. So he actually did serve, did get combat, infantry badge affirmation because he was in combat. Obviously, he got his his Purple Heart, so he's been wounded in combat, so he's gotten his combat accreditations. The Rangers that trained with him, though, hate his freaking guts. And there's something else that you guys got to know. This is one of those cultural things that's in the military that was either notable or not notable, but supposedly back at a certain time, if you did Ranger training and you got a certain level of training in, you would earn a Bronze Star. Now, that's the lowest rung honorary medal that you can get in the U.S. military, but still, if you earn a bronze, you've done something, okay? You were notable in some form of combat situation. You pulled your buddy out of the fire, you put yourself at risk, you did something notable. Back in the day, it was very, very standard to say, okay, you've reached a certain level of performance, here's your bronze. Goes on your salad bowl. So anyway, or your billboard and all the rest of that fun stuff. So all the medals and accreditations, if you earned your salad bowl, your billboard, what have you, you get all those things. You put all your ribbons up. You put all your various badges. Your accreditations. SEALs put their Budweiser, the Eagle, anchor and whatever. And the Marine Corps basically doesn't do anything crazy like that. But you can get like rifle expert, pistol expert, of course, all your various campaign badges, all your various schools and whatnot. All those things are represented on that area on the left side of your uni. And so you basically earn your bronze, you get that uniform accreditation, you put it on. Now, the thing is everybody basically earned their bronze at that year and time and period, and it was really kind of, he's earned his bronze, he's good enough. He basically gets one, slap it on, he's good to go. The commanding officers in charge of Vindman hated, and I do mean hate, I gotta do this right, hated, gotta get that, guttural, he's hated his ass so much, he does not have a Bronze Star. Now that's saying something, because pretty much everybody got one if they were a good egg, if they did their job, they're accredited, they're in, bing bang boom. He did not get one. In Ranger training, they hated his freaking guts. Now, I bounced this off you guys before, and I've regaled you with it. I'll give you a quick one real fast. SEALs go through SEAL training, and they work their asses off, and they're allowed to eat as much as they want. Rangers go through Ranger training. They're limited to one meal a day. 1 meal a day. Read like one MRE. Here you go, pal. There's your food. Have a blast. 12 to 1,400 calories. They normally lose somewhere between 20 to 30 pounds in Ranger school. Now, the other thing too is also, they are allowed to scrounge and scarf, and if you're allowed to forage and whatnot, you can do that as well. That's basically like hard training to make you do that. But normally what it is they're training you to go from point A to point B, land navigation. You have X amount of hours to do it. Here's your one MRE. You survive. Bye. And Vindman was known as a chow thief, like food, like stealing food. So he was known to be the guy that basically stole food from other guys who were doing the same training as he was, and he was stealing chow from the other guys. He was about to get voted out, and the other guys can vote people out of training, and they're saying, man, this guy's a piece of crap, we don't want to deal with him. He was just about voted out of Ranger training, but for some reason he managed to get in there and stick it out, and basically somebody probably put the word to the word, or somebody basically made him able to stay in. But he is not in good rapport in the Ranger community. They hate his guts. They truly, truly do. Nobody likes him in the Ranger community. He's known to be that guy. So, scrolly. Let me find the article. Hang on one second here. I know I did put something on here about him. There we go. Here we go. So, comes to modern times, and I actually do have an article from thedailywire.com. So he was actually fired because of the stuff that he did in modern iteration, and this is going from an article, like I said, over on Daily Wire. But the reason being is they got tired of playing with him. Hang on a second. He's fired, and it was escorted from the White House. His brother is going out with him, his twin brother. But he was fired from the National Security Council on Friday. This article is dated on February 7th, so it's been like last week. He was S-canned. I do mean S-hit, like the S hit the fan. S-hit canned out of there. They said, we are not dealing with your crap anymore. They pulled him from his job at the National Security Council, and he was escorted from the White House, and his brother reportedly left with him, although it's not clear whether he was also fired. Probably pretty safe to say both those Vindmans are, way the fuck out of there. I do mean V. He was way the fuck out of there. So Vindman, quote, the top Ukraine expert in the National Security Council was pushed out of his role Friday, months earlier than expected, according to a statement from his attorney, end quote. CNN reported, quote, Vindman is not slated to leave until July, but he's been telling colleagues in recent weeks he would likely leave soon. Yeah, do you think he screwed over the president, man? It's not his decision to leave, however, according to one person familiar with the situation, end quote. No, you didn't want to leave because it was cushy. You had a really decent job, but you screwed it over. Quote, we do have one remaining question about what is the future of Alexander Vindman's brother Eugene, who's an attorney for the National Security Council, who we are told also walked out with Vindman today, so it's unclear if he received the same message about his service to no longer be required. CNN's Caitlin Collins said on CNN's, quote, the lead, end quote, with Jake Tapper. Collins also added, I'm told Vindman walked out with his brother, who's an attorney for VSC. It's unclear if he was also fired, which was the expectation. Yeah. During his ceremony, it was revealed he did not know basic facts about U.S. aid to the country. And when the subject came up about his job, he apparently was not interested and wanted to know more about Hunter Biden joining the corrupt Ukrainian gas company Burisma. Interesting. Very interesting. Scrolly. But as reported during the impeachment hearings, National Security Council official Timothy Morrison, who was the former boss of Lieutenant Colonel Vindman, testified that Vindman's boss had numerous concerns and problems with him. So basically, just all kinds of other stuff that, did you know this? Did you know these things were going on? Oh, no, I didn't know anything about those. Dude, if you were the guy who was supposedly in charge of Ukraine, you should have known these things. Vindman is fluent in Russian and Ukrainian. He speaks both languages perfectly fine, because that is the nation of his birth. He is not an American citizen except by coming here and being switched over to being an American citizen. He is a naturalized citizen. He is not an American citizen. He's a naturalized citizen. His parents are Ukrainian. He is Ukrainian. He really, truly has not really been, very good defender of the nation in military uniform. But the other thing, too, is also, he's been known to be pissy. Oh, I don't want to do this. I didn't want to get the assignments I wanted, and the U.S., the Security Council. I wanted to be more like this. I should have taken that special trip with all these guys when they went over there. I should have been allowed to go. Well, there's a reason why you didn't go, dudes, because you're a serviceman and they tell you where to go. Just give me 1 second here. He's an arrogant little bastard. I'll tell you that for damn sure. That's one of the few words I'll actually use, during the podcast. He's an arrogant little bastard to assume, I'm in the military. I can tell the boss what I want to do. No, dude, you don't tell the boss what you're going to do. You basically follow orders like a soldier, and as a commissioned officer, you know the chain of command. You are like one of the baby bosses going down from on high. You listen to orders, and you follow through and pass those orders along to the guys underneath you. But yeah, he's an arrogant little prick. Let's see, scrolly, and him getting, hit canned, deservedly so, he needed to get booted. Speaking of somebody else that needs to get booted, one of the other few words I'll actually use during the podcast, I'm going to talk about Michael Bloomberg. Michael Bloomberg is an arrogant, insular, plutocrat jackass. There's a reason why he is such an upstart little a-hole. The reason why I'm saying little is because, he is, okay? I'm taller than him. I'm only 5'9". He's only 5'8". And I think he might have been wearing heels when he got measured. He's a dinky little prick, and he's now really got short man syndrome because he's standing up next to guys like, Bernie Sanders, who's 6 foot, Joe Biden, who's 6 foot, Donald Trump, he's like 6'3". So he's got short dick syndrome, okay? That's the reason why Bloomberg is, putting his baby nuts out there and trying to show himself as something he's really not. I can tell you for a fact, Bloomberg trying to run anything is not a good thing. You can ask anybody in New York City what happened when Bloomberg was running the place, and it went downward. It didn't do better. The only thing it did better was, basically a whole bunch of financial stuff because the market was blowing up. But as soon as that happened, Bloomberg put the brakes on. He is a jackass in terms of running anything publicly or government-wise. He's not the guy, okay? You do not want Bloomberg running stuff. And also, he's a short dick. Let's see. Oh, yeah, that was the other thing I was bouncing off you guys. Trump holds more Medal of Freedom ceremonies than predecessors, but more ceremonies with fewer awards. It isn't like this whole cafeteria thing where, he's walking down going, here you go, thank you, 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 here you go, thank you. He's not hitting a line of people. He's hitting like one person and going, thank you so much, sir, bing, 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 here's your award. Boom. That was the other thing I think that really pissed him off about when Rush Limbaugh got his award. Melania Trump gave him the award. First Lady of the United States hangs it on during the State Union. State of the Union speech. That's pretty big stuff. That's definitely pretty big stuff. That was cool. There is a video out, and this is chiming in with that one, and I can not begin to tell you how funny I think this video is, but the Democrats are losing their freaking minds, and I do mean like going completely gazots. They're just out of their gourds. There's a video on that is now on Twitter, and it was put out by either Trump or one of the other guys. Let's see who it is. I'm going to keep myself honest here, mostly because I really want to make sure I do this stuff correctly here. But it is a Twitter status that's been put up as a video. And, it's actually up on Trump. Oh, God. Good luck. Good luck taking this video down. But there's a video posted up on February 6th, and it is a video showing, of all things, excerpts of the State of the Union speech. And as these things are occurring, like the Tuskegee general standing up and basically snapping off a salute to Trump, then it jumps over to the scene where you see Pelosi just tearing up the State of the Union speech. And then, with a young child, she's found out that she now has an ability to go to a charter school or a better school than the public school. Trump's telling her that, the mother and the daughter are both beaming, oh, wow, we now have an opportunity for me to go to a better school. This is great. And then snaps her to Pelosi. And it's the same scene, but you see her ripping the State of the Union speech. Rush Limbaugh gets his award. She's ripping it up. Then there's other things that are really positive aspects, and she's ripping it up. And it's a play on her continually tearing apart the speech that contained all the good news. Well, they are losing their minds going, but she only ripped it once? Guys, how many copies do you think she had to tear up during that speech? Wow. Just wow. Really shows of what it is. February 7th, I don't know if you guys know about this or not, but February 7th, there was a story posted up on the AP, Associated Press, and it was Friday, February 7th, Geneva. The UN Weather Agency said Friday that an Argentine research base, why the Argentines up in Antarctica, I never would know, but a research base on the northern tip of Antarctica is reporting a temperature that, if confirmed, could be the record high for the icy continent. Previous temperature, I think, was 59, 50, 58 or something. But the World Meteorological Organization spokesperson, WMO, yeah, that sounds really very compassionate. World Meteorological Organization spokeswoman Claire Nulles, citing figures from the Argentinian's National Weather Service, said that the Esperanza, love that name, the Esperanza base recorded 18.3 degrees Celsius, which is 64.9 degrees Fahrenheit on Thursday, topping the former record of 17.5 degrees. Now, I actually did look that up. What is 17.5 degrees? I think it's 50, 58, 57, something like that. Hang on a second here. Keep myself honest. Come on, Chrome. 63 degrees. Oh, my stars and garters. It was a degree and a half warmer. Wow. 1.4 degrees warmer than the last warmest day. Holy crap. Well, those polar bears managing. Tallied in March 2015. So, 5 years difference to get 1.4 degrees. Maybe it's just a warm day. Oh, that's global warming. No, that's global warming. Yeah, but what's the normal daytime temperature over there? Oh, about 25 below. But yeah, it's summertime. Yeah, well, I'm sure in summertime in Alaska, they probably have like 90-degree temperatures. Yeah, seen it. Seen it. I've actually been in Maine before and been in like 87-degree temperatures. And they were like, oh, this is so hot. It's like tropical weather. It's like, guys, you don't know. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So the WMO's committee only draws on the agency's weather and climate archives is now expected to verify whether the rating would amount to a new record. And of course, me being the smartass that I am, I posted a picture there of this polar bear just like laying out in the sun, like, oh man, it's so hot. I don't know, man. You know, weather patterns are cyclical, okay? And anytime you basically do these core samples, you see temperatures are all over the map. And the Earth and the Sun have all kinds of cycles that they go through. Whether they coincide or whether they switch things up or whether they're completely different, who knows, okay? It's stuff that is beyond us, okay? I'll tell you what. When you weather guys can nail a weather report a month in advance, and I do mean like every single day, you guys nail it. Like, yeah, it's going to rain, it's going to be nice, it's going to suck, it's going to be this, it's going to be that. When you guys nail it in every single effing day, and I do mean like EFFING, effing, every effing day you guys nail that, then I'll take your words to know for now you're talking about what's going over the next 10,000 years. But considering the human lifespan is about 100 years, max, I'm not going to worry about it because I'm not going to be here, okay? And you guys probably should be just a little bit more charitable to say, oh, well, we really don't know what we're talking about because we're using a model. Yeah, you don't. You really don't. So let's see, going back and forth about Sondland, Lieutenant Colonel Vinland, the NBC's losing their cookies because the purge. Oh, wow, the purge. They're purging all these guys out of the, National Security Council. NBC, just for simple note, 2 people does not constitute a purge. That constitutes 2 people that need to get fired, getting fired. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, they're something else they're really losing their cookies about Trump. This is a whole rich guy versus poor guy thing, and the news media guys are losing it. Losing it. Remember that thing he said about, you're going to get sick of winning so much, you're winning. He's better than they are, okay? That's just all there is to it. He's just better at stuff than they are. Trump wins a major court ruling. Lawsuit from over 200 Dems are rejected. And this is posted also on February 7th. Federal Appeals Court unanimously ruled that 200 Democratic congressional lawmakers do not have a standing to sue President Trump over allegations he violated the emoluments. I think it's emoluments clause over foreign payments to his business, Fox News reports. The Court for Appeals in D.C. Court said in its ruling, quote, because we conclude that the members lack standing, we reverse the district court and remand with instructions to dismiss their complaint, end quote. Which means knock it off. It's crap. Go away. Don't even try it. The House members can and likely will continue to use their weighty voices to make the case for the American people. Oh, God. There's colleagues in the Congress and the President himself, all of whom are free to engage the argument they see fit, the court added. But we will not, indeed we cannot, participate in this debate, the court concluded. Translation, they're kicking it back to Congress and saying, do something. Court also said Constitution permits the judiciary to speak in the context of Article 3 case or controversy, and this lawsuit presents neither. President Trump criticized the lawsuit as a quote-unquote phony case. Quote, it's a total win, Trump said. So essentially what it says is the emoluments clause is contained in Article 1, Section 9 of the Constitution and states the following. They are so reaching on this one. The Democrats wiped their freaking asses with the Constitution unless it so suits them the opportunity. They go, oh, we found something. Our legal guys were digging through and they found a shred of something that we think we can use. That's the only time they care about the Constitution, okay? But the emoluments constitutional clause says this, quote, no title or nobility shall be granted by the United States, and no person holding any office of profit or trust under them shall, without consent or Yeah, shall without consent of Congress accept any present, emolument, office, or title of any kind whatsoever, including or from any king, prince, or foreign state. So let's just be a little bit just suspicious here. What does the emolument mean? I mean, have you even used that phrase in normal parlance, normal society, day to day? I don't even know. So, computer, what does that even sound like?
Emolument.
Emolument. Oh, wow. Emolument. Okay.
Emolument.
Yeah, right. With a New York brogue, I'm going to hit that thing correct. Emolument, whatever. A salary, fee, or profit from employment or office. Let's see. What does emolument mean in the Constitution? It's designed to shield the federal office holders in the United States against so-called corrupting foreign influences. Well, that sounds like what's going on with Burisma right now. That doesn't sound what's going on with Trump. Let me explain to you what they think it means. Richard Blumenthal, and Democrat in Congress, thinks the framers gave Congress a unique role, a unique site, and responsibility. Yeah, but you don't do that with your guys. You only do it with the Republicans that you hate and you can't beat in the ballot box. What it is essentially is this. Donald Trump has the Trump Organization and what have you, and all his hotels and golf courts and other properties and other means of earning lots of cash. So anyway, the way, shape, and form is essentially this. Trump said, you know what? I'm going in office as president. If I continue to operate these things as, the boss, it's going to look sketch. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. What I'm going to do is I'm simply just going to make it so that my kids are running all that stuff. Now, the thing about it is the gross corporation makes money from, all over the planet, okay? So let's just say he was the guy that owned 7-Eleven. 7-Eleven is not just in the United States. 7-Eleven is literally all around the planet. Let's just say he owned KFC. KFC is literally all around the planet. Let's just say he owned like a banking organization that has locations all over the planet. Now, because the company is making money from all over the planet, that doesn't mean the money that he's making as a gross aggregate is money he can go, I just made money from these guys and those guys over there and these three guys over in the backside corner and all the rest of this fun stuff. I'm influenced by all these guys that are paying me money. I think what it is they were trying to say, as his corporation earns money, Donald Trump is influenced by money coming from other corporations and other entities and other countries around the planet. Rather than simply, this guy runs a big-ass company, he's making scads of cash, and you don't like the fact he's still earning money while basically being the president of the United States. Because the major problem is even as a government employee, Donald Trump hasn't taken a dime. Every nickel he's ever made while president of the United States, he has donated his salary to causes that he finds to be good. Now, as a rich guy, that's stuff you do anyway. If you make, $300 to $500 million a year, why would you take $400,000 from the U.S. government to kind of skew and mess around with your tax purposes? You would donate it, okay? If you're a rich guy, you would take that $300 to $500 million that you made and you would flip it back over. So you wouldn't take the tax hit. You would go, no, it's being invested at this time. I'm utilizing this money as an investment hedge against my taxes, which is something that anybody smart would ever do. I'm not excusing the fact the guy makes scads of cash. I'm not excusing the fact the guy makes scads of cash all over the planet. I'm simply saying the reality of it is what it is. He makes scads of cash and he invests it back in. He reduces his tax load. That is something that anybody who is smart does. Now, if you want to talk about somebody that will really piss you off, you talk about Amazon making how many billions of dollars a year, paying only 1% to 2% on their profits as taxes. You don't pay that little bit of amount. Everybody pays way more money, even in the corporate scheme of things. Amazon needs to pay more money than Donald Trump owes right now. So if you want to get down and dirty, that's how that one works, and that's how it is. Me scrolling, coming down like the last 10 minutes or so. Don't want to run out of time. I don't know if Trump requested this or if the city council in a peak of spitefulness did this. But when Giuliani was the mayor of New York City, there is a ice skating rink that was a major problem. I believe it's actually in Central Park. or it might be 30 Rock, or I forget who it is exactly, but there was an ice skating rink. It's the Woolman and Lasker ice skating rink in Central. It is in Central Park. Okay, so the Woolman and Lasker ice skating rink really had major issues. It's been around forever. Okay, it's one of those things that's been around for a long ass time. It had issues. It needed to get fixed. And Giuliani was like, okay, sure. Well, let's address this problem head on, because that's the way Giuliani worked. He's like, here's an issue. Let's fix the problem. So Giuliani's like, let me contract up with these union guys. And the union guys, yeah, sure, we can fix it. It'll cost X amount of money. We don't know if it'll be a full-on repair. You might have to get other union guys in there. And it turned into a whole bucket of worms for him to even get the thing fixed. And then he said, well, would it be fixed completely? And they go, well, it's one of those things. It's an ice skating rink. It's outside. We can only guarantee it for X amount of years. And we don't know if it's really going to be a good repair once we're done. But we'll do what we have to do. As union guys, we'll do our job. And Giuliani's like, that's crap, man. Why don't you do your best job? And they're like, well, we'd like to, but, we have limitations, We're union guys, we'll do our best, but if it doesn't work out, we're still going to get paid, and, we don't really care if you don't like the results because we're still getting paid. We don't care. So Giuliani's like, this is crap, man. I'm not dealing with this BS. So he started calling around, and I don't know if he called around and somebody recommended Trump, or if he just said, you know what, I'm tired of screwing with you guys, and went straight to Trump and said, look, the ice skating rink at Central Park is busted. I need somebody to fix it. I need it to be fixed correctly. Can you fix this ice skating rink and make sure it's not a total piece of crap when you're done? I'm sure Trump was like, the ice skating rink? Oh, yeah, I used to love that thing. I did it back when I was a kid, and, we all enjoyed it and everything. Why, is it broken? Oh, yeah, it's completely crap. Oh, well, okay, well, let me do a quick study on it and get back to you. And I think that's literally what happened. Trump was like, yeah, let me do a quick research on it. And probably made a few phone calls, probably went out there and, eyeballed it himself. Came back to him and said, look, what's your best quote? And Giuliani probably threw some outrageous number on him. And Trump's like, well, what's the timeline? The guy goes, Giuliani was like, it's going to be a long-ass time. These guys are going to, like, union guys are going to drag their feet. And he's like, Trump's like, you know what? No, this is crap. And he basically got a hold of the project and knocked it out under budget in, I think, in like 6 months in time for the next winter season for everybody to go ice skating rink time yet again. So, that basically cemented, I'm sure, they're basically, buddy thing. And if they didn't already have a good working relationship in the first place. But I know for a fact it was one of those things where Giuliani was like, look, I got to fix this. This is crap. And I think Trump was like, just put my name on it or I'll buy it from you. Or so, I forget what the actual handshake was, but Trump fixed the problem. Under budget, before the scheduled timeline of when it needed to be done, Trump fixed it. Well, they hate Trump so much that he fixed the thing back in 86. It's been on there for, 34 years now? But they couldn't stand the fact that Donald Trump's name is still on this ice skating rink. Or Trump said, you know what, I'm so disgusted by this city, take my name off. So his name was now currently removed from the ice skating rink. And it's still up. It's still working. But the guys who really, truly are the movers and shakers in the city can't lay claim to fame to making it work after it was completely busted up and trashed. Yeah, that's how the city works, man. I posted up a story, and I kind of did this as a little bit of a sideline. People go on and on about, semi-automatics and suppressed weapons and all the rest of this stuff. If you guys know your firearms history, there was a gentleman by the name of Hiram Maxim. And he is the guy. And Hiram Maxim is literally that guy. But Sir Hiram Stevens Maxim, born 1840, passed away 1916, but was an American-born British inventor known for the creation of the first portable fully automatic machine gun, known as the Maxim gun. And he held patents on numerous machines, curling irons, crazy stuff, mouse traps, steam pumps. He also claims to have invented the light bulb, but who knows? But he experimented with power flight, large, designs, amusement rides. He basically was a really, really interesting person. But moved from the United States to the United Kingdom at age of 41, remained an American citizen until he became a naturalized British subject in 1899, receiving a knighthood in 1901. But what he's also known for is making hellaciously effective, good firearm suppressor. And one of the fierce weapons that he actually ever used it upon was a lever-action Browning, I think it was, or a lever-action Winchester. I forget which one it was. But he's one of those guys that came up with the forebears of the modern machine gun and pistol and rifle and shotgun firearms suppressor technology. He was that guy. So anyway, I posted up this one story, and I showed literally how good a suppressed lever action works. And you got to remember something about a lever action. It doesn't need the bullet to function. It doesn't need the gas to function. There's nothing about the gun actually firing that makes a lever action work. You're working the lever. That's it. So a lever action rifle that's suppressed works really, really good. Might want to consider that for your own collection sometime. But yeah, a lever action rifle works really, really good. Scrolly. I don't know if you guys saw this or not, but supposedly Volkswagen is thinking about making a new pickup truck. And I got to tell you what, the picture that I have posted up on Facebook is from wheelslist.net. And I got to tell you what, man, that thing looks like a Volkswagen bus had sex with a Toyota Tundra. It is the most, like, front half of a microbus, rear half of a pickup truck thing I have ever seen in my life. It doesn't even look right. It's not like, like the Honda Ridgeline or just, could work. It really is one of those things that just does not look correct. And I think the story got pulled. Yeah, it got pulled, unfortunately. Oh, there it is. Okay. I don't know why it did that. That was weird. But the VW truck was designed by Andre Avari, was based on the VW ID Buzz electric van. So it's an electric microbus. Well, that's not exactly true. But the Volkswagen company is huge. If you guys know anything about like vehicles per se, Volkswagen is literally one of the largest car companies on the planet, if not the largest. And the dirty little secret is Volkswagen makes a pickup truck. And it's a pickup truck that is actually available in world markets. It's just not available in the United States. And it's called the Tarok. And the VW Tarok, I don't know why they call it the Tarok. It's Tarok. Tarok. That's just strange, okay? Tarok. The Tarok. It's the pickup Tarok. I don't know why they call it that, but that's what they call it. But the thing is, it's a world market truck that they would think about bringing to the United States. The only downside is looking up on the specs of this thing, it is kind of like world market or like, very, very expensive gas kind of places. But it kind of would make sense in the United States because, we really don't truly have like a small Toyota Tacoma anymore. We really don't have like a small Ford Ranger anymore. All the pickup trucks that we tend to have kind of are a lot bigger. I mean, a Toyota Tacoma now is actually not a small truck. And the thing about it is that the world market trucks are actually a 1.4 liter gas engine or a 2 liter diesel engine. And I don't know if that really works so much. I think there would need to be at least a V6. But, it is kind of funny, though, with all this, turbocharging and direct injection and all this other stuff that they're playing around with nowadays. I mean, it's funny. It's like, you go to the Ford pickup trucks, and it's like you start at a 4-cylinder, then you have 2 6-cylinders, and then finally you have the normally aspirated 5.0 Coyote motor. And everybody's like, yeah, well, the Coyote is only a Coyote. It's not turbocharged or anything. And I remember seeing them doing testing where they actually ran the turbocharged one against the gas engine 5.0, and the 5.0 got smoked. I mean, I thought the 5.0 was actually a good engine, and it is a decent engine, with the exception of the direct injection, which I am not a fan of. I do not like direct injection at all. I don't care what they say about how great it is for emissions and how great it is for, performance tuning and how awesome it is for, like, cleaning up all this, that, and the other thing. I don't like the simple fact is it also has issues with all kinds of carbon problems and plugs up the injectors, and when that stuff happens, you're paying a lot of money to fix it. So anyway, but yeah, the turbocharged stuff definitely beat the normally aspirated stuff, and it might work. Who knows? They're actually thinking about bringing it into the United States, but the problem is it's just not available in the United States. It's available literally like in South America. I think it's available in Canada. It's available in Europe. It's available in Russia. Obviously Eurasia and all the rest of those areas. But it's not the United States. I think what it is because we have such strict emission stuff on our diesels. Volkswagen's still stinging from that last time they tried playing diesel games. They got their butts slapped. Let me scrolly. I posted this up. It kind of plays, It's more kind of fun to look at than it is really to play. But there is a game called Beat That. And you can drive a 91 NSX, a 98 Integra Type R, a 2020 RDX, and the 2020 NSX. And it's literally like you're playing Outrun. Like, you remember that old video game? Like you're playing Outrun. You can't drive the accelerator, but I think you can hit the brakes, and I think you can steer, but there is no accelerator, it just accelerates by itself. And it plays a lot like Outrun, and you basically try to follow correct lines of travel, and you try to outrace the other guy's times, and you basically can post your own time and good stuff like that. But it said play beat that Acura.com. It's on my stuff on Facebook. You guys see it. And scrolly. One other one I thought was kind of funny. It's a little bit of a science thing, but if kinetic energy was converted into thermal energy, how hard is it? Do I have to slap a chicken to cook it? And so the guy basically did the math, and what it came out to be is the average human hand weighs about 0.4 kg. Average slap is a velocity of about 25 miles an hour, and the average rotisserie chicken weighs about 1 kg, 2 pounds. It has a specific heat capacity of 2,720 kilojoules per kilogram, hyphen calorie, I think. Has to assume the chicken has to reach a temperature of 205 Celsius, 400 degrees for us to consider it cooked. The chicken will start off frozen, so let's start at 0 degrees Celsius, 32 degrees. One average slap would generate a temperature increase of 0.0089 degrees Celsius. It would take 23,034 average slaps to cook a chicken. Or, to cook the chicken with one slap, you would have to slap it with a velocity of 1,665.65 meters per second, or 3,725.95 miles per hour. So, if you guys want to cook your chicken real fast, just get it up to 3,800 miles an hour and slap the crap out of it. There you go. Fixed. All right, folks, so it's 10 o'clock time period. You guys hung out with me tonight. I appreciate your kind attention. Those people in the room, those people outside the room, I appreciate your kind attention as well. Do be sure to check out Around the Cabin, aroundthecabin.com, Around the Cabin Food, Around the Cabin News, Around the Cabin School of Self-Reliance, Around the Cabin Buy, Sell, and Trade, Around the Cabin Medicinal Cannabis, and Around the Garden's Gate. Now, if you guys look at me on Twitter, I won't be able to do anything for the next couple of days because I did use some bawdy language, and I have a couple more days to wait before I can post again. I guess that means I'm doing something right. Oh well, they'll never block Donald Trump. Coming on the Twitter, I'm gonna be 80SPCC. And also on the Facebook side, you see me right now, Dude Jerky. See me on YouTube as 80s Podcast Channel. And I appreciate your kind attention. You guys have many other places to go, but you hung out with me, and I'm gonna break up on this one. Eat good, keep pretending as always. You know it, you love it, and have a good evening, and I'll catch you guys next time, and see you guys later. Have a good week, and the reboot will be definitely on YouTube. So, YouTube 80s Podcast Channel, it'll be on with no dropouts. Catch you guys then. Have a good week. See you. Raiders! All right, on that one, I think it's time to break off, and good stuff like that there. Catch you guys. Have a good week. YouTube stuff. See ya!